Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 22 and another part of our My Team career mode with Brawn JP. Today we've got the big one. It's the Silverstone Grand Prix in Britain, of course. And I really can't wait for it. We have won the last two races in Azerbaijan and Canada. Both hard work for different reasons. Baku, we just had a better strategy in the end. We went from softs to mediums rather than the hards, I believe. In Canada, we started on the hards, went to softs right at the end, and we managed to do a really good stint on those hard tyres and come back at Daniel Ricciardo in those final few laps on the soft tyres. It was brilliant. I loved it. Hopefully you guys did too. And now time for the British Grand Prix, of course. But first of all, let's have a look at some upgrades. Of course, we have got a couple in store, but we have got 1900 resource points to go and spend. So let's just check what we can get with that. I think there is a 1200 for tyre blankets. Now, tyre wear is decreased. That might be quite a nice one to have in place. Let's try and rush that through for the British Grand Prix. Can we get anything else? It doesn't look like it. Right, let's pop in some activities then. Let's get the chassis department going. Let's go again with the chassis department. All love for the chassis department. Vehicle PR filming. No. Let's go for the marketing strategy. That looks good. Right, let's push on. Let's see if these tyre blankets come through.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but some of them have failed quality control. We'll need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
Oh. How much is this going to cost? 600. It's annoying because that's now cost us much more than it would have. But hey, there we go. We have got another mail item. Oh yes, the Canadian Grand Prix trophy. Lovely. Thank you very much. We are going for a hat-trick in this Grand Prix. That would be amazing if we could pull that off. Let's keep pushing. Oh, we've got a marketing event.
This article has a question they'd like your input on.
Probably Perez. Perez is probably the one to go for.
The department wants me to pass on their thanks for helping out.
Okay. Yep, nothing else to do. So let's keep going on. And head to Britain. And what I have noticed in this season, look at the development lines for Ferrari and Red Bull. They have not upgraded their cars at all this season. McLaren have upgraded it very, very little. Mercedes haven't done a lot of upgrades. You know, the only ones that are upgrading are the teams lower down. So even though we are upgrading all the time, I mean, if you look at Season 1, we were doing the exact same upgrade patterns as Ferrari, really. And that is why we were still so far off the pace by the end of the season. But this year, we've done the same thing, but now we're well ahead of those teams. But hey, it is what it is. It's not really anything we can do about it. But yeah, let's get on and see how we get on in qualifying. Here we go then, let's take it on a beautiful lap of Silverstone. Pace has been incredible this weekend. We were second quicker than anybody else in FP1, so I have jumped up the difficulty back to 85. We're closing back up to where the difficulty level was before the game was broken, but not quite there just yet. But this is a very good lap so far. Purple sector 1. Doing our tactic of setting a time about 2/3 of the way through the session, so we know where we stand, and equally we've got enough time to get back out there on a fresh set of boots. Not a purple sector 2, but still much quicker than Valtteri Bottas, who is currently in 18th place, about a second quicker than him, so should be comfortably in the top 10 at the very least. And here we come then, round the final corner, up to the line. What's it going to be? It's a 1:28.1, which is fastest for now. And that's a very, very good lap time. Well, there we are, comfortably through Q1, and Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz look like they want to get in on the action this weekend. Nico Hülkenberg, nice and competitive up there in 4th place, but anyone in the top 8 really is in contention, and that includes Sebastian Vettel, believe it or not. Well, a purple sector 1 and a purple sector 2. Can we get the purple sector 3 to complete the set? We come up to the line. It's a 1:27.9, and oh, we're 1,000th of a second off Max Verstappen. 1,000th of a second, but that should be more than enough to get through to Q3. There we are, comfortably through to the top 10 shootout. Sergio Perez, funnily enough, quickest in the Red Bull, 3/10 quicker than Lando Norris there in 2nd. Leclerc 3rd, Verstappen 4th, we're 5th, Sainz 6th. Hülkenberg in the top 10, 1:28.4, matching his Q1 time. Lewis Hamilton just makes it through. Going out in Q2 then, Gasly, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Albon, Vettel and Esteban Ocon. Here we go then, our first run at pole position in this top 10 shootout. It's a decent first corner. Really get the braking point absolutely spot on. And this is kind of a banker time. So just need to make sure that we keep it well within the lines and wait to go for broke. The next flying lap at purple sector 1, we are absolutely rapid through sector 1. We did have a purple sector 2 in Q2. Now some teams and drivers will be using used tyres for this first run. We've got 3 new sets of soft tyres, meaning we can go for broke on both runs, because we've only went for 1 lap in Q1 and 1 lap in Q2, but that is a very, very good middle sector, and you can see we are visibly catching up to the car in front on this lap. Verstappen goes quickest with a 1:28.3. I would suggest that was on used tyres, but this lap that we are currently on, it's going to take some beating if we can finish it off, because this has been almost picture perfect. We come up to the line. It's going to be in the 27s, mid-27s, and it's a 1:27.4, a full half second quicker than our Q2 time, and Lando Norris pops it up into 2nd. Hülkenberg currently 3rd, but that was an awesome lap time. It really was. I do think there's another couple of tenths in it though, and we'll go for that in a second. Well, we're setting ourselves up for a final run at pole position. It's going to be an absolute crackerjack. I'm hoping that doesn't mean were invalidated on this lap. That'll be rather disappointing, but here we go anyway. No, we're absolutely fine. We're off and running. But that is a cut first corner. You knew it was going to happen. Very frustrating. We could have done so much better there. But, yeah. We've just got to sit and hope now. Just too keen to get into turn one, and, you know, we definitely would have gained a lot of time, I think. Anyway, we got one of the Mercedes cars leading the run. I'm just sort of edged behind, and you can see they're now going to have a flurry of cars coming through. This is the end of the weekend. The checkered flag is out, and Verstappen goes quickest. He has stolen pole position. He has stolen it. Sainz goes second. Where's Norris going to fit into all of this? Leclerc, well, no, Hamilton's gone fifth. Hulkenberg, he can't do anything. Norris goes third.
Right, let's
and
have
well,
at the end of this lap, please.
There you go. We can't do anything to respond. And what a pity. But it's Max Verstappen on pole position for this British Grand Prix.
It's time to remind ourselves once again of our top three. Verstappen, the captain, and Lando Norris. With qualifying complete, all that remains now is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Well, I can't quite believe that Verstappen took it in the end, but he did by 0.5 of a second, to be fair. Very good time from him. Lando Norris, he qualifies third. Sainz in fourth. Hamilton, a good fifth for Mercedes. Hulkenberg, very disappointing once again, all the way down in seventh. But this is going to be a very, very tight British Grand Prix. Any one of those 10 on your screen right there, they can get the British Grand Prix victory.
Welcome along then to Great Britain and the Great Silverstone circuit for today's Grand Prix. The 3.6-mile-long Silverstone circuit is one of the longest of the season, with 18 corners in the current layout. With average lap speeds reaching around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the quickest tracks of the year. Watch out for cars taking the right-handers of Abbey and of Copse flat out. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and the captain completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Sainz, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Perez, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Russell, and Charles Leclerc, Ocon, Vettel, Alex Albon, and Tsunoda, Magnussen, Gasly, Lance Stroll, and Mick Schumacher, Bottas, Latifi, Oscar Piastri, and Guan Yu Zhou. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
All right, then, here we are, down on the track. We are ready and raring to go. Obviously, Max Verstappen sat over there just like he was in Canada. We, of course, got the last laugh there. Now, I think hard tyres are going to be the preferred tyre once again in this Grand Prix. I'm tempted to go for the similar strategy as we did last time. Mainly because I think the hard tyres are actually going to be just a little bit quicker in this Grand Prix. Yeah, I think, you know, try and extend that stint a little bit. 38.42, that's what that's looking at. If we look at the personalised, yeah, I think that is going to be the slightly quicker way to do it. We'll see. We'll see. It might come bite us in the backside, but I think there's going to be a lot of different strategies out there. I think there's going to be some starting on the soft tyres, going for the two-stopper. So yeah, let's get into the race and see how we get on.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out.
So everybody in the top 11 are starting on mediums except us on the hards. We have some soft tyre runners lower down the field.
As the cars come back towards the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can, and they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, failing that, within the points.
So as I said, any one of 10 drivers can win this Grand Prix, and we're definitely one of them, looking for the hat-trick now, starting on the hard tyres, and hoping that it works out just as well for us as it did last time out in Canada. So we're ready, and we're raring to go. So here we go. Lights out, away we go here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Lando Norris off to a very good start, and we may well get swamped a little bit as we go into turn one. We have to drop off the gas pedal a little bit because we're on these hard tyres and we won't have the same amount of grip. But Lando Norris jumps us into turn one. A little bit of wheel spin as we come out of there. And it's imperative that we stick to the back of these guys in front. Lewis Hamilton already a second behind us, and Hülkenberg having a little look at him as well. So Hülkenberg off to a good start after starting 7th. Not entirely sure what's happened to Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc, who were up there, but Nico Hülkenberg has made the pass on Lewis Hamilton, so very, very good start for him. And, well, Hamilton side by side with him, but has dropped back a little bit now as we go through Maggots and Beckett's for the first time. In this Grand Prix, and Max Verstappen has very much established the lead here, but it's going to be very much like Canada, I think, where we're going to have to just bide our time on these tyres and take them as far as possible, because I do think they are going to come into their own a little bit later in the Grand Prix. They join me on lap 4 of this Grand Prix, and you can see that we are very much within a second of Lando Norris, using the DRS to close in. And I mean, I think it will be a case of trying to get close through Maggots and Beckett's. That's where we're losing our time at the moment, but a decent run behind Norris here up into Copse. And that's absolutely smashing, and you can see how much we are ahead of Nico Hülkenberg once again. But yeah, through Maggots and Beckett's we're just losing ever so slightly time to Norris, but look at this, look at the DRS, this is overpowered, but not quite enough to make the move on Norris. But it's a matter of time, and it's an important move to make because Norris is certainly struggling to make any impact on Verstappen up ahead. So we are now 4 laps into this Grand Prix. Verstappen definitely making a nice little gap at the moment. Hamilton back through on Hulkenberg. Where is Hulkenberg? Has Hulkenberg had to come in? Sainz is up there now. And they are 4 seconds behind. Hulkenberg is still in that battle. They must be side by side behind. And meanwhile, we've been a little distracted, but still gaining a nice amount of time on Lando Norris here. And this is the closest we've been coming into Copse. Obviously, definitely not close enough to make a move through there, but if we can stay close, we see how much speed differential we had with the DRS, and this time it is a good run through Maggotts and Beckett, and this time we are nice and close to Lando Norris, and we have the inside line. And before the braking zone, we are nicely through. So up into second place.
Good work. Great pass.
On Lando Norris, and the championship leader. He'll be quite happy to stay out of the way, because he's got bigger fish to fry. We're not really his championship competitor. Funny enough, it's Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen at the moment. They're second and third in the drivers. Verstappen coming back into form in the last couple of races, that's for sure. Now, it'd be nice if we can get out of that 1 second window to Lando Norris, because I don't want to just be swapping positions with him the whole race. See, he is sort of clung to our gearbox, and that's our second warning for track limits, which is a bit unfortunate. Takes away that security. Norris is in a good range here, but that's what we've been finding in recent Grand Prix, is that our straight line speed is just better.
Here's some information
Sonoda
on Tsunoda
out of
for
the
you.
session.
They're retiring from the race.
Is there going to be any sort of safety car? I don't know. Looks like he's just pulled off to the side, so I don't think it's going to be a safety car. So 2.1 seconds is the gap to Max Verstappen up ahead on to lap 7 of this Grand Prix. Well, here comes Lando Norris down the inside. And that's a good move, and this is exactly what I didn't want to be doing. Sort of swapping places back and forth.
Got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
Oh, and that's an excellent run. And we might have a chance into Copse. Oh, yes, we make it stick. That's a lovely move, and we are back through on Lando Norris. That was an awesome little battle there. But he's going to come back at us down the hangar straight. Or is he? Well, he's backed out of it a little bit. And that could be the breathing room we require to get back on top here.
We're approaching.
Well, you join me on lap 12 of this Grand Prix. And we are around about 2 seconds behind Max Verstappen. Lando Norris still less than half a second behind us. Straight line speed is helping us out, but a little bit of a squirrely moment out of that corner gives Lando Norris a chance, and he's having a look down the inside. We force him to take a tighter line, give him all the room in the world, but that is going to be the inside line and the run up now to Copse Corner. But all the while, we don't lose too much time to Max Verstappen. This is the crazy thing. Norris is definitely the quickest of the three of us at the moment, but he can't get past us. But 12 laps into this race, we're still in second position. And remember, we are on the hard tyres, so we're meant to be slower than the guys around us. Max Verstappen pits. Max Verstappen is in the pit lane now. This is a big moment. Lando Norris right behind us. He could be taking the lead of the British Grand Prix. But I definitely think Verstappen was struggling with tyre wear more than Lando Norris. And that's why he's had to come in early. So Hulkenberg 11.5 seconds behind us. He's sort of stuck in that train with Sainz and Perez. He's just ahead of George Russell. It'll be interesting to see if Norris can have a go at us here. He's closing in, but well, he is having a look. Makes a bit of contact. Pushes us out wide.
So the gap to the car behind is 6.
Into Maggots and Beckett's we go. More contact. Oh, well. What's happened here? Why can't we move? Well, it's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster. I'd love to see what happened there. But yeah, we got out onto here and we were sort of beached. You can see the car was actually levitating slightly and we couldn't move. So that is a absolute disaster.
Okay, we've been given a time.
Oh, come on. We're not having that one. But yeah, them three have gone through now. But that was a huge
Green flag.
moment. And we have got a little bit of front wing damage. And I'm going to come into the pits.
Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
But I think Nico Hulkenberg might be pitting, and he is, so I'll have to stay out there. But now we've got to hope for a safety car. Yeah,
Nico's coming in for his stop now.
it was a bit aggressive from Lando Norris, to say the least. What we need now is a virtual safety car. But luckily it doesn't seem to have affected our pace too
Okay, we want
much.
you to pit this lap, so push now, push.
Yeah, absolutely gutted, because I think we could have won this. So here we come into the pits then. And just about make it in time. And it's an agonising long pit lane, this one. And you just gotta wait until you turn. And the sign's already been and gone. There goes Max Verstappen. Norris is going to be coming through now. And Hamilton now coming through as well. There goes Hamilton. Perez is next. Is Hulkenberg going to make it through as well?
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Yeah. So we're going to be right at the back of this queue, all the way down in 10th place. And that is what can happen. And it was an avoidable incident. But you know, we were fighting hard for position. Oh dear. Well, the car definitely not feeling 100% here. Well, we'll try our best. I think no doubt about that. Well, look at this battle up ahead. We've got Hulkenberg, Russell,
Our gap behind is 3.1
and then
seconds.
Ricciardo and Charles Leclerc. Ooh, Ricciardo pulls out from it. But we've got front row seats for this battle, and we'll be looking to get involved as well. As we're looking to go down the inside of Charles Leclerc, and that's exactly what we manage. And now we got our teammate Nico Hulkenberg and
Great manoeuvre.
compatriot George Russell. We get a better exit as we head up towards Copse. Nico Hulkenberg keeps it in there. Fair play. But that was a little bit unnecessary. But should be able to get back up into 6th reasonably soon. Got another chance here. We'll give Hulkenberg the priority. Hulkenberg can't make the move stick. Russell doing a very good job of defending that position. But it is what it is. We got to keep battling. Around the outside of Hulkenberg, and we make that move stick very, very nicely. Trying to keep an eye on George Russell. Pressing the overtake button as we head up towards Copse. Should be able to get him into Stowe. Just sort of holding back. So here we go. Should be the moment. And there we go. We do make it past rather easily in the end. So back up to 6th position now. Got a little gaggle of cars up ahead. That leads all the way to 3rd.
Okay, gap to the car ahead is 4.9. You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap.
We've got yellow flags somewhere.
Okay, clear.
I don't know exactly where. Feels like somebody might be out of the Grand Prix. I think it's Daniel Ricciardo.
Okay, some information on Ricciardo. Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring. Our gap to the car
Still
in
got
front is 2.7 seconds.
Hamilton and Perez battling up ahead, and that is allowing us to close in quite substantially. Well, we're now within a second of Hamilton and Perez. And this could be an opportunity to get past both of them. Perez will be closing right in on Hamilton. They're not side by side yet. We go a little wide. Don't think we can reach Sainz, but if we can get up to 4th by the end of this Grand Prix, that's decent damage limitation. Here goes Perez, side by side with Hamilton into store. In fact, Hamilton didn't even defend it.
Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left.
Yeah, we're struggling tyre-wise.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by...
We're pretty close to Hamilton here, but I don't think we've quite got enough over speed on him to make a move, but we have closed in. And if we can stay this close until next lap, then we should have an opportunity, but the tyres are just screaming for mercy. That's the problem.
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop. Currently investigating.
Well, we've got an issue now. I mean, I was going to say, we never seem to have any luck in the British Grand Prix. And that would certainly top it off if we had an engine failure at this late stage.
There seems to be an issue with our ERS.
That's the ERS. It seems to be locked. So we're not getting any deployment out of it. But that's not the worst problem to have.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
Still locked. It's a pity because
So
this
the issue
is...
seems to be fixed, but we'll keep monitoring it from our end.
I was going to say this is the closest we've been. We have got it back though. But yeah, because Hamilton's getting DRS off Perez himself, we have to be a lot closer to this. Two laps to go.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap. Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now.
Well, this is a good amount that we're closing in on Hamilton now. But if we want Perez, we're going to have to take Hamilton this lap. Which means we're going to have to really go for it here. This could be the chance. This could be the chance. I think we're going to have to go for it regardless. Oh, well. A little bit more damage to the front wing.
Here's some information on Vettel. They've got an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
But we are through. But Hamilton's going to be straight back through here. Oh, well. He backed out of it. Are we going to be able to hang on? Probably not. There's so many high-speed corners. We're not going to be able to get Perez. So, colliding with not one, but 2 British drivers at the British Grand Prix. Not our best day at the office, it has to be said. Here comes Hamilton on the hanger straight. We've got George Russell as well. Oh my god, it's going to be a Mercedes sandwich with us as the fill-in. Oh no. Well.
That move was illegal, I'm afraid, mate. Return the position. Give it back.
Oh, apparently we had to return that to Russell. Absolutely disaster. Ugh, that was a really tough race. And to finish 6th. Oh, not good. Not good.
Here we are then, a fantastic British Grand Prix, and what a performance it was from our race winners today. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. Well, after an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
That's got to be the Flying Finn. Wait, how many Flying Fins have we had now? Anyway, I'm talking about Bottas this time. Just great raw speed, and a good job in traffic as well.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. It was a tough race for our championship leaders, who lose ground at the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Well, there you have it then. Max Verstappen wins the British Grand Prix. Championship leader Norris finishes 2nd, Sainz 3rd with Perez 4th, Russell finishes in 5th ahead of ourselves in 6th, Hamilton 7th with Hulkenberg in 8th, Leclerc 9th and Ocon rounds out the top 10. Now what I want to have a look at is that incident with Norris. I think it must have been this lap. So we've got Norris right behind us for the first part of the lap, and then he must get an almighty run here, and he does. To be fair, he does get a good run, and he pulls to the inside, and there we go. There's the first bit of contact. Goodness me, I mean, that was very, very close. I want to look at the chase cam. So yeah, you can see there is space there for Norris. He understeers into our back wheel, which could have sent us flying into the barriers. Did send us going wide. And then we came back onto the track. And we were still side by side. Norris slightly ahead. And we come in, ride the curb a little bit, and then I suppose we've squeezed Norris out there, but he's, I mean, maybe at this point does Norris back out of it, or do we back out of it? But he's cutting the corner slightly. I think it's a racing incident, and we end up, I mean, I thought when I was on the grass, yes, we've survived, we're not going to spin, but then we went round, spun the tyres up to try and get back round, and then you can see it's that F1 22 is on a slightly different level, and the car was levitating, and you can see I'm spinning the rear wheels, Not getting anywhere. Decided to reverse, which gave us a little bit that we could go off. And eventually we got going, but that was huge. That spoiled our race at the end of the day. And Norris, as far as I can tell, nothing happened to him in this race. But let's watch it from his perspective. So here he comes. He's coming up to Cop's corner. I mean, that was a very, very bold move, wasn't it? Makes the contact. We come to the inside. He leaves us a little bit of room, and then, yeah, I mean, he holds his hand up in anger. We're very lucky that he didn't get any damage at all. And let's just have a little look at the race director. Did he get any sort of warning? He did. He actually did. He got a warning for a collision with ourselves. So the stewards, at the very least, seen him at fault, but that's the way it goes. Standings-wise, we're still in 6th place. Norris still 58 points ahead of Max Verstappen in 2nd. Perez there in 3rd now. Leclerc 4th. Sainz in 5th. Nico Hülkenberg still in 10th. Constructors-wise, we're still in 5th, 5 points behind Mercedes, but once again, not very lucky at the British Grand Prix, are we? But that's where we're going to leave it for today. If you have enjoyed that, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.